Big Z Reviews. Replicas is a new horrible sci-fi film that is apparently actually coming out to theaters. And even for like an early January film, this is really bad.
And I'll go on.
I love you.
Forever.
So before I get into the meat of this review, if you've watched me before, this might look and sound different. This is my first review I filmed in 2019. And for Christmas I got a new phone, which I'm using to record this. And as a Christmas gift for myself, I ordered a hopefully higher quality lavalier mic from Rode. And I don't really know if this is going to look or sound better than before. I won't know till I'm editing it. So for editing Brandon, hopefully this doesn't look like shit. Hopefully this looks better than before, but we'll see, I guess. So now for the actual movie. I had saw trailers for this and I was like, I saw some scenes in there like, wow, that looks really bad. But I'm a huge fan of Keanu Reeves, and I love sci-fi films, so I thought I'd give it a shot when I had the opportunity, and it is really bad. I mean, the idea is kind of interesting, where Keanu Reeves is working on mapping the human mind and like copying it and then transferring it into a new body. Specifically, their company is trying to put, like, they're getting donated bodies of soldiers that died in war, and then they're trying to put them in this android. And right at the beginning, it doesn't go well. Like, something's wrong with it. And but the android thing is, it looks like a ripoff of I, Robot, you know, the Will Smith film, but like 10 to 100 times worse. I mean, if you have this thing that's pretty important for the movie, I don't see why you spend a little bit more money on the model of it. Or, I mean, for a lot of it, it's pretty much still. I mean, you do have to move it at different times in the movie. But, I mean, I almost wonder if they would have been better if they made, like, a physical version of it. You know, hire someone to 3D print stuff and make it something. Or do something that where you can put it on a thin person. Like, so that they're actually wearing it. So that it's easier to do things later in the film. But what they do, the CGI for this character is really bad. And it's funny because the poster for this film is like replicas, and it has Keanu Reeves' normal face, and on the left it has like a slightly robotic face. And if they had done something like that looked like that, it may have been cool. But it does not look like that. And the way they set things up is just so poorly done. Because, you know, he's working on the thing to replace, you know, the body and, you know, put a new mind in a new body. And, like, when the first actual conversations between Keanu Reeves and his wife is how the wife isn't sure about this whole thing. Like, she thinks that she's not sure if what you're doing is right. Because, like, you're talking about, you know, what about the human soul? Is that something that's missing? That's why it's not working. And, like, she doesn't like it. And right after that, pretty much, they go on a boat trip and get in an accident, and his whole family dies, except for him. And it's really poorly done, just because watching it, it's like he's driving and it's really raining. It doesn't even look that bad, like the rain isn't that much. And the wife is like, I can't see anything, can you? And he's like, oh, I'm still going to go really fast though. And he like has an oncoming truck, and he's in their lane, and he swerves to avoid it. And then again, he doesn't slow down or stop the car, and a tree crashes in front of him, and he crashes in the tree, and a branch spears the wife, and then they go off careening into a lake, and then all the kids drown, and he has like a little knock on the head, but he's fine. Like, he's able to wake up and drag all the bodies ashore, and they're all dead. And instead of calling the police, he calls his friend that works in bioengineering and gets them to steal 3 tanks to grow clones of his family. But oh no, he has 4 family members. One of them is going to have to die for real. Except they do have a copy of her mind, so that later on, if they want to, they could do something else. But no one ever mentioned that until it comes time. And it's like, it's so ridiculous. It's like, there's scenes where he's supposed to be like distraught, and he like fake cries for like 5 minutes, and it's really bad acting. And I don't know if I blame the director, because I love Keanu, but it is really bad. And the weirdest thing is that once he realizes that, oh no, people are going to be questioning this, and that's, like, his family disappeared for a while, and then even if it worked, they would have to explain how the youngest daughter is missing. And like, he has a thing where like he uses his mind thing to delete the memories of the little girl, and for that, it'd be so horrible that if you have your new family that they're replicated and they have no memory of the daughter, but how are you actually going to hide things? Like, how people are going to ask him, "Oh, how's your little daughter?" Like, my little daughter? I don't have one. I think there's going to be questions asked, but the weirdest thing is that at times the movie is like, things are happening really serious, but then they try to add like humor to it. And the weirdest time is when he's like realizing, oh, I better go on all their phones and social media and call the schools and everything and say that they're sick. And he does that, and it's fine, whatever, that's fine. But then he gets to the older daughter, like she's like 16 or 15, something like 14, something like that. And he's like looking up like different social medias, and like the girl saying, "Hey, I was spending time with your bae the other day." And like, "My what?" And it's like, "Oh, Juan, you better come back soon, or I'm gonna take him." And then like Juan sends him a message saying like, "Hey, my parents are gone for the weekend. You want to come to my house and hang out?" And he's like, "No, I'm grounded. Till when?" 18. Wah. And it's so weird and poorly done. And then later when you get to, I was hoping they go more along lines of that, like, are these really, are they the same people, even though they have the same memories, the same body? Is their soul still there? Are they going to be evil? And I was hoping they go through that route. And instead, they really don't. I mean, they have a little bit of stuff going on, but not really. It's more, it just becomes like an evil corporation film. And the funny thing is that the film knows, like, I was thinking like, but why would they want that instead of that? Like, it's like, but why would they worry so much about the military when they can make billions of dollars doing this for old rich people? Like, I mean, how much would an old billionaire pay for a young body of his own body? Like, I mean, and of course they know that, but they don't do it at the time. At the time, the characters act so stupid until they have to act for what the story is supposed to do. And it's really bad. It's also, the cinematography is horrible. Like, everyone's lighted really weird. It looks like it's like fake. I think this is like a Chinese movie. Like, they using American actors. Like, but it is not good. And I would definitely not recommend it. I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Nothing more than that. But thanks for watching, and hopefully this looked okay. We'll see, I guess. And see you next time. You can subscribe to me in that Z over there and see my other video playlists that are on my head. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.